Tonight, a community is mourning the death of Otis Anderson Jr. He was a star football player at University Christian before moving on to the University of Central Florida and then the NFL's LA Rams. Tonight, his own father facing murder charges for allegedly shooting his son. Our coverage begins this evening with this quote from UCF's athletic director. It says, "A bright sun shines over a special place that makes one pause and think of the many memories that a new angel gave us. We pray and mourn a loss of a life taken far too soon." LA Rams sending their condolences as well, saying that they are saddened by this tragic loss, calling Otis Jr. a promising young man with a bright future.
Police just released details of the overnight shooting. It happened at 5201 Johnson Lake.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Welcome to another edition of, you guessed it, Joel's News and Views. Okay? Conservative News and Views. You know this is our edition, Blackistan Chronicles, along with White Glacier Valley Chronicles as well. Now, this is the Blackistan Chronicles edition. We reported this yesterday. We talked about this young man. If you don't know who the young man is, I'm going to bring it up right here, right quick. Again, thanks for everybody with the donations, the support. We're still trying to get to $1,000 this month. Let's try to make it happen. This is the young man right here that we talked about, the bright future, the one that, you know, had a lot going for him. You know, it's him and his lovely girlfriend right here. 23 years old. 23. He has lived a great life. Everyone you talk about says that basically this kid was none of that you hear about a lot of these athletes try to portray, that especially coming from Florida. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in the streets. He came from a two-parent home. Mom was a correctional officer. I think his dad was some type of engineer maybe, and coached him during Little League. Like, he had a grandfather. He had all the tools that every young man needs to be successful. So you would think that a tragedy like this would come from, you know, someone like in the streets that was jealous, you know, some thug that got emotional and acting a fool, or maybe it would have came from, you know what I mean, rival who wanted his girl or something, or something random that we've been seeing where people are getting randomly killed for no reason. But this is not it. Nope. This came from home. This came from his father, his own daddy. This is like some Marvin Gaye type of shit, okay? Like, this makes you wonder who in the world wakes up and really want to kill their father. I mean, kill their son. And he's a junior. He looks every bit of his father. So it really confuses me at this point. You know, I know the father loved this son because, I mean, you was there with him, with his mother. Y'all raised him in a two-parent home. Y'all done all the things you're supposed to do to make him successful. So what went wrong? Well, you know what went wrong. Something that I've been telling a lot of guys that's near my age and even older guys. Because this man that did this to his son is 52 years old. So he's grown. He ain't no youngin'. So he can't use that as an excuse. But we're going to get to the part of what really caused this. And let me get back to the rest of the story. And I'll break it down as it being exposed and talked about while I'm on my lovely state mandated break. Hit the like button while you're coming in too, man. Hit that like button.
Court on Jacksonville's northwest side. JSO says Anderson Jr. had a gunshot wound to his chest and his back.
And we're joined now by On Your Side's Tristan Hardy. And Tristan, I know you've spent the day in the neighborhood. What are those you've been talking with telling you tonight?
Well, people around the neighborhood say this whole situation is heartbreaking, especially when you think that according to JSO, this whole story revolves around a dog bite. Well, the people I talked to say that they are shocked to find out what happened and who was involved in the shooting. Otis Anderson Sr.
That's his dad. This is the senior. This is the emotional man that lost it all on his son about a dog bite. Now, God, let me tell you something. I've gotten bitten by a dog before, and being a part of the stand, I know how a dog bite feels, especially it's a pit, okay? Or any breed that's a pit. And I'm quite sure that what bit him was a pit. Because, in the stand, that's what brothers like. That's what we like. We like them pit bulls, or we like a rock roller. 9 times out of 10, it's a pit.
And Roddy's got some power.
Yeah, and like my son just said, a bite has some power. But 9 times out of 10, I've gotten bit a little bit by my pit before. And I've even gotten bit by a pit that wasn't mine, of a loved one that was in my home. Now, was it vicious? Yeah, it hurt. God knows it did. Now, I handled it one or two ways. I actually told them that if they didn't get the animal out of my home, there was one or two things. We were going to call animal services and get them to determine what his temperament was. And if they said that they could rectify the situation, what's up, Roger? We would get it out of the home, give it a second chance. But if it did it again, it's got to go. That's what he should have done. But this father here, that was one hell of a bite, right? I mean, he just lost it. I'm looking. It didn't bit his neck. It didn't bit his any vital organ or vital veins. But let's continue to see what all transpired after this bite.
Made his first appearance in a Jacksonville courtroom this afternoon. The man you see here in an orange jumpsuit, charged with shooting and killing his son, shooting and injuring his wife.
I find probable cause on both charges.
The arrest report from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office shows the 52-year-old was upset after he was bit by a dog. The pet belonged to his son's girlfriend. Soon after, Anderson and
Oh, y'all heard that? He was upset because he was bit by a dog belonged to his son's girlfriend. I feel like that the problem was he didn't want that girlfriend being there. Y'all gotta think about it. When you got multiple adults in the home, and some of the old school fathers like that, here you got the girlfriend in here, you got me paying these bills, your mama paying these bills, and I'm doing all this working, but at the same time, I gotta pay for this person, that person. They get a little into their feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's them old heads. They get in their feelings. So they probably done had an argument before. He probably didn't really like that dog. He probably had said, if I ever see that motherfucker hit me or bite me again, I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch. He probably said some shit like that. You know how these old school Wokian fathers talk, man. They get crazy. You know what I mean? They don't want to compromise for shit. They're like, I'm paying the bills here. Fuck a compromisation, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's the behavior they have. I ain't lying. That I ain't lying. But let's continue.
is heartbreaking, especially when you think that according to JSO, this whole story revolves around a dog bite. Well, the people I talked to say that they are shocked to find out what happened and who was involved in the shooting. Otis Anderson Sr. made his first appearance in a Jacksonville courtroom this afternoon. The man you see here in an orange jumpsuit, charged with shooting and killing his son, shooting and injuring his wife.
I find probable cause on both charges.
The arrest report from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office shows the 52-year-old was upset after he was bit by a dog. The pet belonged to his son's girlfriend. Soon after, Anderson and his wife, Denise, were arguing. The disagreement was so intense, Anderson flipped a reclining chair. That's when his son, Anderson Jr., showed up to check on his mother.
Now, let me tell you something about young men that's in shape. They got their girlfriend living in the house with them. When they hear mama yelp or hear mama looks feeling like she's in distress, especially if he was raised around real upstanding men that always say if you hear something, check on what's going on. He's gonna check. He's gonna do that. That's how my boys is about me when sometimes I get a little irate with my wife from time to time. You know, they'll come in and be like, yo, Dad, you good? Y'all good? You know, and that's what son's supposed to do. Son's supposed to protect mom and also daddy. They supposed to protect their parents. That's their job. That's what God put them on earth to do. And when they do that, and you see the situation getting a little intense, this is when you got to make the choice, whether you like it or not, to walk away. It's not about, well, it's my house, I pay this mortgage and shit. Nope, don't go that way. Sometimes you just gotta walk away. You just gotta walk away, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this shit worth it? But let's continue to the story, because it may make some people get pissed off.
The report goes on to show the father and son argued and then separated. Police say Anderson Jr. was shot in the chest. His mother suffered graze wounds.
The other part is a father and a son. Oh my God, it's really devastating. Something like that. I lost my son.
Carl Jones lives near the Anderson residence. The neighbor shared how his grandson played sports with Anderson Jr. back in high school. The 23-year-old played football at University Christian.
My daughter just called in trouble. And he up in Albany State time, so he's brokenhearted.
University Christian school officials describe Anderson Jr. as a young man with a bright smile, someone who was exceptional on the football field and in the classroom.
It's a heartbreaking thing at the time.
Hey, I can tell you what happened why Daddy got that gun. Daddy got that gun because he felt intimidated when that boy probably see how he was acting a fool over something as petty as a dog bite. Probably said, Dad, it's not that serious. You was tripping right now. And Dad probably bust out and said, who you think you talking to, la, la, la. And that boy probably said, I'm talking to you, Pop, because right now you acting like a child. Probably said something to that effect. Because they were about to go blow to blow. That's what the mom said. They were about to go blow to blow. And the boy walked off. After he saw it was getting intense, I'm going to walk off. I'm going to let my dad figure this shit out. But the dad so upset, he done kicked over furniture and shit. He felt disrespected because his son told him he needed to chill the hell out. See, this is where I say y'all old heads got to understand something. You should be glad that your child stands up to you. Do you want to raise a punk? Do you want to raise somebody soft? You know what I'm saying? That don't have no skin or backbone? I mean, that's what we raise our sons to do, right? We raise and encourage our sons to stand up, right? For themselves. You know, my sons and me have gotten into it. Me and my oldest son has gone to blows. And we told you about that. And I've never, ever got to the point to where I wanted to get a gun and shoot my son. Like shit I am. That's my son. That's my son. And he's not my biological son. He's my stepson. So imagine if it was my biological son. If I had one. Hell to the nah. This right here is straight ignorance. This is an ego. This is an ego problem. This is an ego problem. This what happened. This guy got an ego problem. I can tell you that right now. He one of them dads, he's got a real big ego. He's got an ego problem. He don't like for nobody to call him out on nothing. He don't like to be wrong. He one of them, what I say goes, fuck you. Even when the children are adults. But see, what he got to understand is, this is a grown-ass man. This boy done been in the NFL. This boy done, you know, made money. This boy has done pretty good for himself. And he was still on the road to doing good for himself. He still had opportunities to, if he couldn't have gotten the NFL, I'm quite sure he would have been a good athletic trainer for some of these young guys, like at the Jacksonville Jaguar facility, or even a college facility, because he had that tenacity. You know what I'm saying? But this is just another example of the foolishness that these people in the Blackistan put themselves, and you in a nice community. Y'all know North Jacksonville have some of the nicest communities. We're talking about $400,000, $500,000 homes. And the home this cat living in is a plush home. This ain't no run-of-the-mill bullshit home. Okay? We're talking about 2 stories. You know, mostly black people in the suburbs. Everybody got a good job. Everybody making up towards, I mean, in Jacksonville, if you're a correctional officer, his wife been a correctional officer, they said, I think almost 20 years. We're talking about she's bringing in about 50, 60,000 on her end. And I think he's like an engineer or something like that. He's bringing over almost 200 grand. So what are you doing? When you got that kind of bread coming in, you shouldn't be acting like this. You should be thinking very correctly. In fact, if it was that big of a deal with your son, you could have just called the cops and could have had him removed. Or hell, you could have went and filed paperwork and had him evicted, him and his girlfriend, saying that they no longer need to be here. You could have told your wife, hey, listen, you know, he got to go. But you couldn't do that. Hey, Google, turn off nursery rhyme music. Couldn't do that. Nope. Y'all couldn't do that. Y'all couldn't do that. Y'all couldn't do that. Y'all had to go out here and act the damn fool. You had to show when keeping it real goes wrong.
For now, the investigation is ongoing. Now, Otis Anderson's arraignment is scheduled.
Man, look at that house, y'all. Look at that house this fool is done. He traded this house right here. You made it. You made it. 5201, buddy. You made it to 5201. And now look at you. Now you done traded in for an XL prison suit where you can't even get out on bond. You are now considered a menace to society at 52 years old. Man, that's crazy. Ain't no way. Ain't nobody. Nah, bro. Sorry. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I love my kids. I have my temper. But I ain't gonna let nobody fuck me up where I'm going to prison for that and trade in that. That nice 2-story big ass house. Damn. And then you lost your wife along with it. Cause your wife will never accept you. She ain't gonna stay with you. You kill her only child. You threw your whole family away in a matter of minutes. In a matter of minutes. Damn. You can't make this shit up, boy.
For December 22nd. Our team coverage continues with our sports director, Chris Porter, who has more on Anderson Jr.'s bright life.
First in the news of Otis Anderson Jr.'s death spread quickly. When I was leaving the gym this morning, one of his former teammates' dad stopped me in tears to share the sad news. This young man touched so many people. Otis played his high school football at University Christian from 2014 until 2017. Otis helped lead the Fighting Christians to back-to-back state titles in 2015 and 2016. He was our Athlete of the Week back in September of 2017. Otis was an undersized running back, but one his former high school football coach David Penley told me would work tirelessly in the gym. Otis went on to play at the University of Central Florida, and most recently he was a member of the Los Angeles Rams practice squad. Coach Penland says Otis left his mark.
He's an all-around good kid. Would do anything for you on and off the field. I know he came over to my house and helped me move a couple times.
Listen, I live near Jacksonville, Florida. To get a young black man from the stand to come over to your house, especially you, as my man AK Nation like to say, you a glacier glider. That have somebody come over there and do that type of work, come to your house, move your furniture, help you with furniture, and nothing goes missing. Nobody ain't scheming to try to set you up to rob you later. None of that stuff going down especially in Jacksonville. You find a brother from the stand in Jacksonville to do that. That's a one out of a million right there. That's a diamond in the rough. I'm being real about it. That's a diamond in the rough. a son that a man would be proud to have. You know how many women right now, especially in the stand, would have loved to have them a bright son like that? A real, genuine, good standing boy. Ain't no bullshit where, like Dante Wright, who, you know what I'm saying, trying to fight with the police, or the boys from Chicago who get pulled over by the police officer and shoot her dead and try to hurry up and try to cry like they scared, or, somebody like George Floyd that done did fentanyl so damn much that he got a tolerance for that son bitch. This is a real upstanding young man. Life gone. All because his daddy got mad over a dog bite. I just want to ask Otis one thing. Otis Lee Anderson Sr. Where's the dog at now, Otis? Because I'm quite sure the dog at the house. And where your crazy ass at? We already know. Just waiting for your next court appearance at the Jacksonville County, the Duval County Detention Center.
He's just, you ask him and he'll do it. He was always at workouts, never missed. Would stay late. You kind of had to push him out of the locker room. Just a kid that loved football, loved his teammates, and loved his coaches.
Coming up tonight, all new at 5:30. Hear more of my one-on-one conversation with David Penland as the coach shares just how painful this is and the one thing that gives him peace. That's tonight, all new at 5:30.
Thank you, Chris. To stay up to date with all of the latest developments from this story, head to firstcoastnews.com.
Better. I'm going to let this sit in right here. Let y'all see this. This is why I say all the time, y'all. I say this all the time. Young men, old men, middle-aged men, quit letting your emotions get the best of you. Now, this father is 52 years of age and is going to now die in prison. He can even do a plea deal and he's still going to die in prison because he's 52 years old. He ain't going to have nobody to take care of his ass because he just killed his only seed. The only thing that was a replica of him. That's why when you see him in the courtroom, his head down and he looking crazy because he know he fucked up. He know he can't explain it. There's nothing he can do. Y'all get in the comment section, man. Tell me what y'all think. I want to give y'all an update on why this father who raised his only son, who did all the right things to make the nuclear family work, and possibly made it out of Blackistan, allowed a Blackistan moment that he created on his own to kill his only child over a dog bite. Over a dog bite. I mean, you can't make this up, man. You can't make this up. Like I said, please like, share, subscribe. I'm out.